Welcome to my channel, I'm Melon. Today we'll be making this Nyonya Rice Dumpling. I'll be using two different methods to cook the dumpling. The first one will be the steaming method using the Thermomix, and the second one will be using the pressure cooker to boil it. So here's are all the ingredients you need. So the first thing I'll be doing is to soak the dry bamboo leaves overnight for at least 12 hours. And the second thing will be the glutinous rice. We'll soak overnight as well. And we will be preparing double portions. For the pressure cooker method, you need to prepare 350 grams without the color and 150 grams rice with the color to soak it overnight. For the steaming method, you don't need to separate the rice. You just soak all together, 500 grams of the rice. So after you prepare all the ingredients needed one day ahead, on the day of cooking you need to prepare the mushroom by soaking it about 30 minutes and cut the candied winter melon into small pieces. And while waiting for the mushroom to soak, let's prepare the garlic and the shallot. Cut off the bottom of the garlic and take off the skin. And for the shallot, you need to cut off the bottom of the top and peel off the skin for later use. When the mushroom is soaked to soften, you need to squeeze out the water and then remove the stem and cut it into small pieces. So we'll start making the filling and cut the pork belly into small pieces and put it in the Thermomix mixing bowl. I'll be using 10 second speed 6 to chop about the pork belly. When it's ready, we serve the pork belly in a separate bowl. Without cleansing the mixing bowl, put in the shallots, garlic and the mushroom and chop for 6 seconds speed 5. Chop up, add the cooking oil, then cover the lid. Cook for 6 minutes, 120 degrees, speed 1. After it's sauteed, add the pork belly, coriander powder, white pepper, and the fermented bean paste. Cook for 10 minutes, 120 degrees. Next, add in the candied winter melon, grounded peanut, light soy sauce, oyster sauce, and dark soy sauce. Cover the lid, saute for another 2 minutes while aroma, speed 1. When it's ready, reserve the cooked filling for the wrapping later. When the filling is ready, we need to prepare the rice. For the steaming method, we need to separate the curry water and then strain off the water from the soaked rice. And for the pressure cooker method, we need to strain off the rice separately, the one without color and the blue color rice as well. Steaming method. Put in the shallots in the Thermomix mixing bowl. Chop it up for 5 seconds. Speed 5. And scrape down the sides using the spatula. And add the oil. Saute for 5 minutes, 120 degrees. Speed 1. After the shallot saute nice and fragrant, add it in the soaked glutinous rice into the mixing bowl. Stir fry for 6 minutes while aroma reverse speed 1 without the mushroom cup. Meanwhile, add in the soaking mushroom water 200 grams, through the hole into the mixing bowl while it's cooking. When it's done, the water should have soaked up into the rice completely. So now transfer the 3/4 of the rice into the bowl and set aside, and remaining 1/4 of the rice inside the mixing bowl. Add in the wool color water and cook for another 2 minutes while reverse speed 1. When it's all done, reserve the cooked rice into a separate bowl. For the steaming method, the cooked rice is very sticky, so it's recommended to separate into 8 portions before wrapping for easier handling. Same goes to the white color rice as well. So for the pressure cooker method, you don't need to cook the rice. You just need to mix the rice with the oil, salt, and some shallots. You do the same for both portions, the white color and the blue color rice. Just simply mix it up with the spatula. When it's all ready, find a place that can hang up the strings and gather all the ingredients near you. Take 2 leaf, layer them together as such, and then cut off the branches knot. And you can see there's 2 different surfaces on the leaf. One is the rough surface. You need to face down the smooth surface for the bottom layer, and for the second layer you have to face up the smooth surface and layer them up like this. So in this way you can get both sides are the smooth surface. So now we can start making it into a cone by folding it half, and then fold 1/3 from the edges towards you, and then open up the leaf into the cone shape. When you get a cone shape, you need to take 1 portion of the blue rice, press it down firmly to the bottom, and then scoop 1 tablespoon of the fillings on the second layer. Slightly flatten it with the spoon, and take another portion of the white rice, put it on top, and press it down firmly using your hand. And then you need to fold the ends of the leaf to cover the opening, and shape the end to form a neat 4-corner pyramid shaped dumpling. And then fold the excess leaf towards either side. And take a tie, wrap it in the center of the dumpling around 2 circles, and tie the string at the end with a knot to secure the dumpling. In such a way the ends are held tightly around the dumpling. For the second part, I'll be showing you about the wrapping for the pressure cooker method. The wrapping method will be the same, but I won't be separate the portions parallel wrapping because it's easier for scooping without cooking the rice. So I just scoop 1 portion of the blue rice on the bottom, and then another layer will be the filling, and then on top will be the white rice. I personally think that for the pressure cooker method will be easier because I don't need to cook the rice, and when I do the fillings it's easier because the rice are loose, so I can just scoop up using the spoon and just flatten it with the spoon as well. But for the folding part it will be harder compared to the steaming method because the rice is quite loose, so you need to quite skillful on the wrapping part. And also if you don't wrap it quite securely, it will be pop up and burst in the water. And when it wrap up, loop around the dumpling and tie 2 knots at the end to secure the dumpling. And if there's any excess leaf at the end, you can also trim it off. When you finish all the rice and filling, you should get around 8 dumplings for the steaming and also 8 dumplings for the pressure cooker method. Let's arrange the dumpling inside the waroma dish. Try not to block the center so the steam can come up from the center. You need to use around 1,200 grams of water for the steaming. Add in the water in the mixing bowl and stand it without the measuring cup and stack the waroma dish into positions and secure the waroma cover. You need to steam for 60 minutes waroma using speed 2. So for the pressure cooker method, you need to boil the water first before put the dumpling inside the water. Depends on what pressure cooker you are using. So I'll be using the saute high temperature to boil the water first without the cover. When the water is boiled, I will put in the dumpling in the pot and make sure all the dumpling is submerged in the water. Cover the lid and set it in high pressure mode and cook for 30 minutes. So let's look at the steamed dumpling first. Remove it from the waroma dish and let it cool for a little bit before opening up. I personally think that the steamed dumpling is less moist compared to the pressure cooker. You can see the textures is very sticky and chewy. And let's look at the pressure cooker dumpling. When the time is up, let it set for about 5 minutes and then release the pressure manually. When the pressure are released, open the lid carefully and remove the dumpling using the tongue from the pot and let it cool down a little bit. As you can see, I got one loose dumpling inside the water. As I mentioned, for the pressure cooker method, you need to be very skillful on the wrapping. If you don't wrap it securely, the dumpling will swim in the water. So let's look at the pressure cooker dumpling. So you can see when it opens up, you can see much more moist compared to the steamed dumpling. And the surface is smoother and shinier, and is much more compact compared to the steamed dumpling. And the shape also look nicer because the loose rice is easier to press down. And you can see the texture is more gooey and much more moist compared to the steamed dumpling. Yes, I prefer the pressure cooker then. I put both different method dumplings side by side at the end so you can see the differences. Please subscribe and like if you do. Enjoy the festive season. 端午节快乐! See you again next time.